Welcome in to episode 18 of our Let's Play Ara History Untold series. We are working our way through the game. We are about to end all the text for Act 1, so we're finally getting to that point. The AI will have to catch up with us at some point, but we are trying to work through the ridiculous aggression of AI settles and AI territory claims. It has become just the most ridiculous thing, the latest entry into the series of atrocities committed against us from a territory claim standpoint by our allies to the north, Italy, as we have been attempting to wage war against our enemies from the east, the Indian Empire. And it's been a wild and crazy series. If you need to catch up on any of the action that leads us here right now to turn 161, down in the description below is a link to episode 1 of the series. You can catch up on all the action leading up until this moment in our game of Ara History Untold. Here we are, not in our capital city of Ciudad de Mexico, but instead at the site of the latest atrocity committed against us by our allies, the Italian Empire. And get this, they have the gall to name their city New Delhi, while Delhi is still being burnt down by the Aztec and Mongol empires. The audacity of the Italian Empire to take a settle spot from us. I mean, we're going to settle here. This was our spot to start with, but we're going to be once again exactly where we left off with the Italians, fighting for land claims as quickly as possible. And they have the audacity then to name their city New Delhi, while Delhi is still standing and is in fact being burnt to the ground by the warmongering Aztecs and Mongols. They both have wars of annihilation declared, and I know that the Aztecs burnt down this city, and the Mongols, I saw a Mongolian army here. I don't know who's burning down the city. We'll find that out, I suppose. Probably in, 2 turns-ish or something? Unless their war ends early. And then this has also just caused a problem. We were going to take Delhi was going to be a ninth city for us. It's just become a whole thing. Honestly, if they were to just burn it to the ground at this point, that's our best bet. If they keep the city, then we have problems, because now whoever keeps it, whether it's the Aztecs or the Mongolian Empire, we will have to declare war on them, leaving us more turns where we really can't declare war on Italy. I'm not going to run a 2-front war. I feel like that would be very bad. And we're not prepped for something like that. But man, the game has become very interesting. So let's find out what's going on. We'll progress into some of our turns here. We also need to keep an eye on this. We're getting Golden Age points at 9 per turn. And we're actually rapidly approaching our next Golden Age as well, which it feels like we were just in one, which is great, but that means we're playing the game well. But we need to start prepping for some possible wonder builds, triumph builds to gain that prestige. Not that we really need it. We've already snowballed this thing. If you look at the standings, I mean, probably being a veteran of 4X games, I should have turned up the difficulty. I didn't know what it was going to be like when we first started this, series way back in the day, like basically when Ara came out. But such is the way of things. We'll continue to try to maximize and optimize just to show, hopefully what you would want to do if you could. Although I have been playing games at the top difficulty level, actually. And it does change. It changes a lot of stuff. The AI obviously gets even more aggressive, in my opinion, with forward settles. And their armies obviously get built up much faster. And they actually try to build triumphs, which is kind of honestly, I feel like that was the major difference, is the competition for triumphs gets very fierce when you're playing the AI on top difficulty. So if there was one thing that I'd be like, here's the biggest change that you'll experience when you go from a lower difficulty to a higher difficulty in Ara, it's that the AI will actually start competing for triumphs, essentially. All right, let's hit next turn and we'll get things rolling. Oh, Delhi. 1 turn left for Delhi. And New Delhi is going to be ahead of us on growth. It's just going to be, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. No longer receiving vanilla beans or metal tools from Italy. Oh, the metal tools is kind of a pain. That's okay. What are they producing? Spices? Yeah, we'll take some spices if you got some spices sitting around. We also need something else. Grab some bread. Send us some bread, Italians. You owe us that at least for your forward settling ways. All right. Units idle. We've discovered a tribe up here, actually, so there is still a tribe left on the map, and we're just kind of, like, exploring everywhere. You know what I want to check? Because we are approaching, I guess, the end of Act 1, if we look at our standings, we want to come down here. We want to find out, okay, so Leopold and then somebody here. We already know Ashoka is going to be out. In fact, he's probably going to be out next turn when he gets burnt to the ground. Leopold is also currently looking like he will be out, as well as somebody else. What we'd like to do, because they leave behind some nice caches, is be around those particular areas with a scout so we can try to pick those up. Now, they will leave behind armies as well, and so that will become a problem for our scouts. But because we already know and discovered the mechanic where scouts can actually retreat, apparently they're the only unit in the game that can currently retreat, but scouts can in fact retreat, we can just test out that mechanic a little bit. So we do have 2 scouts out. Once we find out who this other unknown is, it would be nice to get a scout outside of their land so we can try to pick off some of those caches, because they can be very, very valuable once they are called away. So Leopold, and it doesn't look like, I mean, he could. It's not an like, this is catchable because we have quite a few probably turns before everybody gets out of the antiquities. We gotta have 4 empires, I think, get out of the era of the act, basically, in order to move along. So just something that we can think about, though, because this is Leopold right here, right? This is Leopold's land, because we had just met him, and so this scout can kind of just stay around this area for the next while, and then be ready to kind of make the move towards doing that. This particular spearman, I feel like, I'm not sure how useful his moves are anymore. If we come back down this way, that would probably be the best way to do it, if we can. So maybe, like, send him up and around, just for exploratory purposes. He's not finding any hunts, and that's really the only thing he can do, but the exploration is fine. Like, I'm not opposed to it. Alright, and then this army, this army's gonna have to sit with this city now, I think. Because it's going to be in a very dangerous spot, particularly because the Aztec Empire doesn't actually appreciate us very much currently. And we have our boat. Oh, and it's a little island. This island actually might be worth a city settle, to be honest. I wonder how much could Callion grab, though. Callion might be able to grab... Oh, there's a lot of territories, actually, on this island. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 territories, plus a couple nice resource nodes. I wonder how far... 1, 2, 3, 4. Callion might be able to grab most of this, actually. And since they're stuck currently, although I think they're going to get land freed up on this side. It'd be tempting to put a city down here, but gosh, we really don't need one, you know? Like, we have so much land to claim up here, especially if this city's gone. If this city is gone, we could probably fill in with these 2 cities. Like, it would be fine. If Delhi's gone, though, we almost need another city over here for sure, just to fill in the land. And then, like, putting a city down here might be, like, a questionable choice. We'll have to see. We'll debate it. We'll have to figure out whether I want to stretch that way with Callion or not. It'd be nice to get access to these fish. Is what it would be really nice to get access to. Okay, so where do we want to send this guy? We just send him around? We'll send him around just for exploration's sake. 1, 2... Let's go these 2, and we'll kind of see what we can do. The Assyrian Empire's accepted my gift. I think I did some gift sending off recording, just to have some stuff, yeah. Declining research proposal, standard operating procedure. Belgium also declined my research proposal despite the fact they're in last. And we get another religious verse. How close are we? 1, 2, 9. This is our 10th, so we get 2 more after this yet, which is nice. So we're getting our verses, which is boosting all of our cities that are following our religion, which should be all of them. All right, societal effort. +1 housing in all cities. That is quite nice. Minus 20% research cost of science technologies. Again, that's okay. Probably better later in the game than right now. And then +3 force strength. +1 housing in all cities is a very good verse. We're going to take societal effort here. There's very limited ways to get housing in cities. And so if I can get some via that will keep us from having to build quite as many dwellings and all of that. Free up zone space for us, which is not bad. The Aztec Empire accepted my gift. I've been trying to, like, make peace with the Aztecs, but it's been very difficult. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure they're the ones burning this down, but again, it could be the Mongolian Empire. We're actually at an okay space with the Mongolian Empire if it's them. I think the major problem is if we settle a city here, we're right on the borders of the Aztec Empire, and they tend to be very warmongery from games that I've played in the past. Let's get another masterpiece. I believe we've crafted a couple of these now. A lovely book. The City of God. Excellent. The some prestige from that, and we'll just continue on with that person can just continue crafting masterpieces, right? The more masterpieces we get, the more we can try to kind of get them themed or whatever the equivalent of theming is in this particular game. But there is, like, once you get, like, sets of masterpieces, you can enhance your ability to get prestige off of them. All right, we roll along, and it was, in fact, the Aztecs. And so now on the very next turn, we will find out, will the Aztecs be keeping Delhi? Will that become a massive problem for us? Or will it be a short-term problem in which it just gets burnt down, frees up all of our territory claims, specifically in Callian, and lets us kind of get off and running? Yeah, this is going to be... Oh, well, it looks to me like they've burnt everything down. That would signal to me that they're not particularly interested in the city, right? If they're already pre-burning everything. Looks like they pre-burnt many of these things down, and now they're probably just going to burn the city down. It would track because they already burnt this one down, although this is a capital city, so maybe the AI is programmed differently. We'll find out on the next turn. We now have expansion war casus belli against the Aztecs because they now border us, which is kind of funny. Also, their color is dramatically similar to ours. And it's like difficult to tell them apart, actually. Okay. We've got a new apothecary complete. Let's see. Do we need apothecaries building herbal medicine? We probably should. We probably need herbal medicine to put in some of our cities. We're also crafting... We could also start crafting candles, though. Let's take a quick peek. How many... Are we crafting candles out of our workshops? We are. So maybe we just let that be. And for the ceramic shop, we'll continue... Or sorry, for the apothecary, we'll continue crafting these. We don't have, like, very many things to put in here. Yeah, we can't even put tea leaves in because we're not getting those fast enough. We can throw a little wealth at it. Boost those. We'll just set them kind of to infinite right now. We need to check. We'll check our apothecaries later when we upgrade them into chemists. And our mint is complete, and that is not a bad plan at all to get a mint in, because that is just the one mint we can build in our empire. So we want to go find our mint in here. We want to set our policy for it. We actually want to go industrial tools to metal tools. We want to go, rope is 50, if it's both 50, right? Yeah, 50-50. So we'll just go rope to wheel. We'll go power to fuel, and so that will boost our mint, or at least supply it, and then we will be crafting our coin out of there. Inconveniently, we do not have any sources of precious metal currently, so we cannot get that 500 boost. We do have a source of copper, but we're currently using all of it, and so we have enough precious... I mean, we could just burn our precious stone making this, but I'm almost apt to just say, let's just start crafting coin, and then we'll come and revisit our mint at a later time to see if we can get it up and running. We could put the copper on there. Or if we're going to get any more copper, that probably should be something we look at. Our Great Hearth is ready to start crafting things. We have more time to be able to craft feasts and Code of Laws to boost them up. We could obviously start crafting festivals, which will be something we want. But I think I'm going to use this time to continue crafting feasts. Yeah. And we might even throw... I might even throw this grain at it, to be honest. Try to get a bunch of feasts out here. Let's do like 10 and see if we can get 10 down. All right, idle units. Oh, and we have met another
You've become
another
aware
person
of a new nation.
Nicholas Copernicus of Poland, who I think, now that Benito Juarez has been nerfed, Nicholas Copernicus of Poland, I think, is probably the strongest leader and nation combo in the game. His traits and things are very, very good. Played a game early on, my very first game that I played on stream over at twitch.tv/ManishMoose was with Copernicus, and he was pretty potent. He's got a very good kit. Offer him a gift? Like, I don't know. None of these are gonna get it. Unless you see like a feast, none of this is gonna give more than like point something, so... Unless I get 5 or 3 or like an actual number, like it's just, I'm not gonna give a gift, typically speaking. All right, well, let's see. Where does he rank? It would be nice if he was one of the bottom ones. Oh, he is close to the bottom, but he's not this one. And that's the one that we need to locate, probably. So let's keep going this way, maybe. Always swing back around to see what's going on over there. All right. This guy has decided he can't go that way. Let's just have him do that, because I don't know. Can he cross there? Maybe he can. Territory lines suggest that that's possible. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Thought we gave him that order last time. All right. Here's the settle. The risky settle. Go ahead and put it right here on the river, maybe. All right, just off river. We'll put it. Let's put it. Let's gotta get our city in, and I guess we start making claims up towards New Delhi. Like we just start taking along the river. We take this one first, then maybe this one, and then we try to get to this die. That's gonna be the play, and then we'll come back down and kind of set this border. It's gonna get sticky regardless. Okay. So now we know everything here, so we don't really need to go this way anymore, I don't think, personally. So I think I'd like to go this way just to see... Let's get him over here. So instead of that, see, we're wasting a turn, so we'll pack him all the way to there so we get the 2 movement every turn, right? That's what we want. Idle city. Neza is idle, and so now we have to remember just exactly what we were doing in all of our cities. And let's see, we have oh yeah, we're gonna stack apothecaries. So let's just continue with that. We'll just continue stacking apothecaries in this particular territory. I think that will be our best bet for Neza. Check on their growth and their food. It looks okay for now. We'll eventually have to start building some farms again, but we're up and running with, mills, and a lot of our spaces are looking pretty solid. All right, Ciudad de Mexico. How close are we on wonders? I think the biggest problem so we can build hanging gardens right now. The biggest problem we have is that our capital does not have the ability to get to do wonder builds just because we don't have any places to put them, which is kind of maybe our larger problem currently. We are approaching needing a dwelling. We grow on the next turn up to 16, so maybe we just go dwelling here. Farm also is going to be a possible issue. We want to save, unless somebody else starts building the hanging gardens, we will save building it until our golden age hits. We're also going to be close. We need to get books out too. I think we've put a few libraries down, so we need to get our libraries in as well. So maybe we go dwelling library before we get that build up. So we go to our city center. We've already filled our city center with the palace. Oh, and we need to replace this workshop. That's right. Okay, so we are going to build probably our library because we need to delete this workshop and put it someplace else. So we need a spot for a workshop that we're going to build, and we need a spot for... So actually what we're going to do is build a workshop because I need to replace the workshop somewhere else. And this actually would be a nice spot for it right here. Just put it down in this territory. So let's go workshop here. That's a 1-turn build, so that's perfect. We are going to demolish this workshop because I need to put a dwelling down there. So we'll demolish. You could demolish and build on the same turn. So we're going to demolish the workshop. We're building a workshop to replace that workshop, and then we'll put our dwelling down. And then we could maybe put a library down before we grow and start seeing... let's make sure we're getting a territory. We are getting a territory, so we'll try to claim one that will be a good wonder spot for us. None of them are good. We already know that for wonders. We're gonna be putting a wonder triumph on a 4-zone tile, but such is life at this point for us. So we'll let that happen that way. And then I think we are ready to rock and roll.
You are the first nation to reach the early Middle Ages.
That is us researching the final tech of Act 1, and now we are in Act 2. The game is not in Act 2 because we have to wait for 4 other players to join us in this act of technologies, but we now have the ability to research techs in the next era, which is a big thing. And there goes Delhi, burned to the ground. Delhi is gone, and here is the army that was perhaps responsible for the act, or at least contributed to it. There is a battalion from the Aztecs. Let's see. They don't look so potent. We have a large army sitting outside, and in fact, they're gonna be in a bit of trouble because we've got armies over here as well. Who do we have here? The Mongolian Empire has a potent legion sitting over here, though. So the Mongolian Empire and the Aztecs have armies sitting over here. Those are not the neighbors you want to have. to have the Mongolians and the Aztecs sitting on your border with armies, that is a potent combination. So we'll try to maintain relationships at least for whatever time we can. Man, it would be nice to get some extra city cap. And we actually have a really big decision to make on city cap right now. So as we are now in the early Middle Ages, we have to choose our next technology. And typically what you are going to do is you are going to go after feudalism as quickly as you can. Feudalism is basically a gold mine. You will make so much money in feudalism that it's almost impossible to choose it. Now, the situation that you will run into is, do you want to become, I can't remember what the government type is called. There's another government type, Empire. Do you want to go to Empire, which is what we just unlocked by researching the final tech of the last act? And here's the thing with Empire. Empire has -10 production in each city. That's not great. I don't love that at all, right? You get a decreased production in cities, but it bumps your city cap to 10. And so you can put 2 additional cities down, and you can get this production, you get it back in crafting production, basically. So you could choose, right? You can either get it back in build production, so you can counteract this -10 production and just get plus 10% production in all cities again. So you basically just go back to 0, or you switch, you lose 10 production, the build production basically in your cities. And I think this is referring to production, like build production, not craft production. And you get your craft production back. So, man, it's very difficult because in our game, we have land to settle. And so what you can do, and what a strategy is that you could implement, is you could go into Empire, you could settle your 2 cities, and then you could switch from Empire to feudalism once you research it. Feudalism city cap will bring you back down to 8, and so you'll be taking the happiness penalty of being over city cap by 2 cities, which once you get a little further in the game is fully, like, you can manage that. Right now, it would definitely be a little bit of a hit for us on that side of things. So it's really difficult to make this choice. I think I'm not going to choose Republic and settle the 2 cities, even though it really feels like we probably should. Like, there is 2 city settles easily in this land that we could take. And so it's very tempting to go that direction and then drop down to feudalism. Oh man, I'm gonna weigh that in my mind probably throughout the episode. I'm not gonna switch right now because I don't want that production decrease. I want to keep my cities cranking. But I think we're gonna go to feudalism because I feel like that's the direction that I want to go. But you have a bunch of very nice and very important possible technologies you could research here. You can get access to chemists, which is the upgrade of the apothecary. Very, very potent, and will get you access to things like fertilizer to boost your farms. Huge. So you can have to start crafting those. Obviously, here you get access to your feudalism government, which is very powerful. Stirrups, unless you're going to war, probably not necessary. Stained glass, again, you can hold on that. And then you get stuff like decorative arts. The Artisan Studio is a completely new building that you can build to start crafting some things. You've got things like illuminated manuscripts that get you access to the Cologne Cathedral. Crossbows, again, if you're going to war, could be useful. And then down here, you also get access to the Monastery of Battalia, which is a decent wonder. You have to have candles and codexes to make it, but it also gets you access to, berserkers, so the ability to do a few more things from brewing here as well. So there's good text here. Not amazing, as we'll see in kind of a couple of the next tech eras as we go through tech ages. So I still think that feudalism is the play. I'm gonna, just so that we have the possibility of accessing the feudalism government as soon as possible, let's go that direction. I didn't actually advanced think about whether I wanted to take one of those 2 governments and which one I was gonna do. Well, I didn't suspect we were gonna have so much city settles to do. In fact, I thought we were gonna take Delhi. Of course, I failed in that because I didn't have catapults. Now Delhi doesn't exist. That would have been an easy city take because we would have just been able to sit at that 9 of 8 city cap. Now we don't have that, right? All right. Okay. Let's We founded our city. There's our city. We'll have to do all of our city founding things. We might as well do that now. Let's throw in our feast. And we'll throw in our expert. It's our expert because we are old Benito Juarez and we are still OP and completely broken. And we'll throw down our dwelling. We'll throw a dwelling in next to the river there because that feels like where they'd probably build their first dwellings. Dwelling in. And that will set us off and running in that city. Out of cash with a plow in it. Oh, hey, this guy, there was a plow. That was the plow right there. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna start doing some hunts over here. We'll get at least a couple hunts done with this scout before we send them out. Let's let the boat get a little bit of scouting done. See if there's any paths for the scout to go on. For now, we'll keep them busy by having them do some of those hunts. New gathering hall, we already got that. Oh, we didn't get the gathering hall crafting anything though. We'll figure that out in a second. We got a mill, a workshop, and a tannery all in. So let's jump over here and we'll take care of all of those things. We got 2 workshops idle. We happen to know that this workshop needs to be on metal tools. We'll throw the metal ingots at that. We'll throw, oh man, what are we throwing? Wealth at it? Wealth is probably our better bet here. Throwing wealth, and then that one's empty. And we're just gonna have them infinite craft those. We got another workshop that is not building anything either. We already have tools, pots, candles, baskets, gears, and rope being made. We have excess of everything but stuff that's being crafted. We don't need more looms. We've already maxed that out. So the question is, how do we want to get to something faster? Metal tools, having 2 on metal tools is not the worst idea. Although we still have some people using rope. I wonder if I think we need to double crank. We'll double crank on gears for a little bit here. We've got the metal ingots to do it. We'll throw some more wealth at those. And we'll leave that one empty. But let's get, we'll just do 5. I feel like 5 might be a good workable number there. All right, an idle tannery. This is our latest tannery. And we'll probably just be crafting more sandals here. How are we doing on leather? Leather, we're 2.2 consumption is just the 1. And we're using the leather here. So, yeah, we could double craft sandals, probably, because we can use this leather. We're doing leather fast enough that we can do both of those. And then, again, I think we do wealth as opposed to doing the mats. We're really low on materials. We need to get some more mines in for that. And we'll just set them to infinite craft that. It's fine. We'll take a look at them a little bit later. Got a mill that's idle. Got our 5th mill is online. We'll get them cranking on paper. We'll use the timber as a bonus for that. We don't have dyes, which, again, is hugely a pain. We are starting to get some coin. We're getting coin from trade, and we now have our mint in as well. We're never going to use coin, I don't think, to boost paper, but for other things, we will definitely be using coin for in the future. So we'll just get them crafting that. Paper, we're going to be going through paper very quickly at this point. All right, again, we can still craft more Code of Laws and more feasts. And let's see, we have 1, 2, and our Great Hearth is on feasts as well. So we have 3 on feasts and 2 on the Code of Laws. We're low on feasts though, so I'm just gonna go feasts again, and we'll call that good. Okay, good. Got some vital units. Well, let's poke over here. We'll see what that is. This guy, yeah, this guy couldn't make that move, so we need to make this move. I don't know why it's telling us we can go this way. We clearly can't. All right, and then this army, I think I'm just going to literally sit here in the city. We're just gonna sit in the city because there's possibility of bad things happening. We have a new population milestone. That is in our capital city. And we happen to know that we are going to be looking specifically for a low zone territory. We got 4s over here. We got 4s here. And there's a 3 here, but it costs 2. And we're already kind of stretched over there. Oh, man. It's not awesome. None of these are awesome. However, we do have access to some saffron down here that we might want. If we claim this, that would get us access to a nice 5 over here eventually. So maybe we claim this one. It becomes this one becomes a Triumph Place spot. Also gets us some extra lumber right off the bat. This is probably one of our better bets for a Triumph in our capital. Our capital is just not great for Triumphs. We have so many great zoned territories here. Well, let's take this. We'll put a Triumph there during our Golden. Maybe we'll get to claim another. Hopefully we can build several Triumphs in this next golden age, which actually we should tech towards a triumph and maybe see if we can get one of them as well. Okay, we need another amenity for our city, and we're running out of amenities, to be honest. So we have to start thinking about what we want to put here. And metal pots could be one of those things, which would be a pretty decent add. And sandals would be the other. And so I think we'll go ahead and slot sandals now, because I think that's a good one to slot. And then here we have some experts. Let's check our food situation. -1. So if we have a farm that does not have an expert on it, which we do not, we should probably upgrade one of our farms so we can add an extra expert to it. So we can't fix our food situation that way, but we could. Are there any farms that we could? No. So I think we'll just be building a farm here to solve that particular problem. And in which case, we don't have one in our mill. We'll put one in our mill. We're in the workshop that's making the tools for now. We have another. Gravy, that's a lot of experts. And we have a workshop here that we could also put the. Sure. And so we actually know that our next build is. Oh, we're at +1 food now. So that's fine, but I still think we should probably just put the farm in, because it's gonna end up costing us, right? We're also coming up on needing other things, so let's go ahead and throw in an irrigated farm. Might even just rush this. 262, done. Rush it. I mean, we don't have to rush it because we are currently growing, but let's just rush it and then call it good. Poland has sent me a gift. A flower. Thank you, sir. Very kind of you. What they were in the middle of. Oh, we were going to put blacksmiths in, right? So I think we'll just we will just continue that. Let's just keep putting blacksmiths down. Oh, we need to put libraries in as well. Do we have a library here yet? I probably think about putting a library in somewhere, but let's keep our crafting going as much as we can. Callion now has all of the weavers and all of the tanneries in, so they are good on that. Food is becoming questionable. Housing is fine, but I think they might need more food here shortly. So let's go back up to here. Let's go into a irrigated farm. And we rush that too. On the fact that we're going to grow on the next turn, I think we will. I'm going to rush that irrigated farm as well. Good to go. We have advanced into the early Middle Ages. 4 players need to join us there in order to make anything happen, but that is how the game works. Regions have been claimed. We now have the ability to put down a triumph, and we are now making 10 Golden Age points per turn. We are rapidly approaching another Golden Age, so we need to start seeing about books for the Library of Celsus, which means we really do need to focus on libraries to be able to craft said books. We got a bunch of paper, so we should be able to get the books out relatively quickly, but we need the libraries in order to do that. There's even wolves from Italy. Man, I just can't. There's literally wolves there. I mean, they must have ran out and then gotten some, which probably means that's just going to keep happening. Irrigated farm in, blacksmith, and irrigated farm. We'll jump over here to that blacksmith really quick and get that thing up and running. It only has one thing to do. We don't have any more copper to put towards this, but we do have the iron. Ooh, we don't actually have the iron either, but we're close enough, I think. We had a slight deficit with iron, but we'll just get them cranking on that. We have one more source of iron, and we don't have experts in all of our iron mines yet, and we're going to grab one more source of iron as well, so that's just something we will deal with when we get there. I can't wait to see what their next claim is going to be, you know? I just can't wait to see what they choose to do with their next claim. It should be so fun. 35 health lost. Hey, I know you're new, but we expect better. All right, how far over here should I sneak before I just go back up? Now we have plenty of turns, I feel like. We'll keep moving. All right, now we can jump back on land up here. We'll see what's going on. This army is going to sit. Here's another, double battalions. 2 battalions. All swordsman battalion. And then an archer and, they had at least 3 different battalions. They have another one down here, right? So they attacked with a force. And now they're coming back and seeing that we have a city sitting right here. They go in and conquer, and then on their way back marching home, they see that both Italy and myself have fully taken advantage of the fact that they wiped out the person, India, who's on this land, and we have now double settled at the border. Oh, man. You imagine being that army and just being like, what just happened here? Yeah, thanks for doing all our work for us. Appreciate it. Okay, so these guys are just going to fortify. I don't think the Aztecs are going to declare war on us, but they certainly could. There's a strong possibility that they could. And this actually is only 2 wedges, which would definitely not beat their couple battalions. We'd have to reinforce across with these armies. Maybe is a move that we should start to make, just in case, or at least with some of them, to try to split our forces up. We've got, they're kind of split as evenly as we can get them right now, I guess, is our current problem. So, all right, population milestones. New Coahuila is growing, and what are we doing? Oh, that's excellent, because we have succeeded. We got to grow before they took this spot, and we actually get to take it. We will have the coastal spot we wanted. That is a surprise, and a pleasant surprise, based on all of the things that we've been going through in this game so far. So that is very nice. Our first bit of good news in quite some time, I feel, from a settling standpoint anyway. Okay, let's get this expert here at the mill. Feels like it's where it needs to be. And we can return to map there. We've got another city that has grown. Callion has grown, and now we're kind of regretting claiming this, because we really should have saved it to claim over here. But we didn't know they were going to burn that down so quickly. Maybe we should have predicted that. So let's try to grab something over here. Maybe even something to build a wonder on? A triumph? A triumph build spot? Yeah, of course. 4, 5, and 4. I have not played a game of Ara where I have seen so many zones in so many territories. I feel like every territory has 4, 5, and 6 even in this game. Usually it's like you get a couple 2s in there, a bunch of 3s, and so you don't feel bad building triumphs on them. There is so much. I mean, obviously what we're going to do is go here to cut off any further Italian border claims, right? And try to like swing around a little bit. And we could put a triumph here as well. So that's not a bad call either, right? Okay. We've got our weavers exported up. How's our food situation? 15. So we don't have to export a farm actually. So I think we might actually come up here and start exporting, put some experts on maybe one of our tanneries. Although, yeah, our leather, because leather might be nice to get bumped. Let's put it on one of our leathers. And then let's come back down here and we'll get it on the, we'll get all the weavers boosted. We're going to get all the tanneries boosted eventually as well. That'll kind of be the goal with our experts. So, all right. They also don't have a project in Callion, but we'll get to that in a second. Neza has also grown. And so again, we'd be looking for, well, actually, we should probably admit this is the claim, right? Because once again, the claim becomes, how do we cut this city off from doing more dumb stuff, you know? Eventually, we're going to burn it down. We're not, like, close to that right now, I don't feel like. Although, we don't have to go to war with India. We have to figure out what the situation is with the Aztecs and the Mongolians before I commit to a war, but we could do that. This also is not the worst spot. Like, you could say, again, look, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. All of them are 4s. There's not a 3 or a 2 to be seen, which is just crazy. So I think we'll just take this one, because again, we're just like trying to set a border at this point. Also is a possible triumph site, so like that will work for us, right? Okay, and then what was our food situation? -2. So we do want to put an expert down in one of our farms here, and then we could expert in our mill. Oh, we could also put experts in the temple. Temple is just city spread, religion spread, which I think we're doing fine on, so I think we're good. All right, I've got another apothecary that's going to go in there shortly, and now we have a couple of cities that are idle. Marsh is idle, and Marsh was putting in, what the heck is Marsh putting in? Is Marsh also putting blacksmiths in with the mill? Just building blacksmiths everywhere? We don't have enough iron for that. I guess we are. I guess we're just putting blacksmiths every which place. At some point, I feel like maybe we lost control of how many blacksmiths we were doing. We're stacking We're stacking a lot of stuff in some weird places at this point. It's fine. We can always remedy that in the future. Eventually, we'll probably need them, but we're not gonna have enough iron to be able to do anything with that stuff, right? Like we're stacking so much. Okay. We're good on growth. We're good on food for now. We also have expert spots in Callian that we can use too, and so that probably would indicate to me that I would like. I want to get a library somewhere, right? Where would be a decent spot for our library? Let's have several like places to get other things online. Let's see. Where do we have an open spot? I mean, honestly, next to the docks, we could put a library. Because the library's text is as such. It's just plus 15 city knowledge and 2 research per turn, which is great. And then it crafts books. So we could just put it next to the docks. Because it doesn't need to be next to anything particular. It is a culture building. So in a game where I had access to multiple inns, you could put a library next to an inn to get that the expert boost on the inn. That wouldn't be a bad play, right? But I think maybe we'll just put it next to like this. It just seems like a fine spot to put it in this city, just to get them down. We need to start building them, right? So we go to our docks. We just put a library right here. Like a nice little open spot that we could just stack the library to. Our capital is also not busy, and we were gonna put the library in here as well before we go into our Triumph build, right? Because we don't want to build that Triumph too fast, and we probably were going to. Although we could go dwelling as well. Oh, that's right. Scratch that. We were gonna go. Well, let's keep our mind focused. Dwelling first. Then we can go library. Should we just rush this? We have so much gold. Let's just start rushing simple buildings when we decide we need them. Good. And we next turn. A cleared predator and a heavily damaged scout as a result. Let's just back up and heal. Predator cleared. We got some decent stuff out of that. We claimed a bunch of zones in that turn. We are crafting a bunch of things. We have an apothecary and a dwelling. Well, I could have just gone straight to that apothecary. Now we have to scroll all the way up. Oh, we got 2 gathering halls that are also not doing anything, so get them turned loose. Yeah, go Code of Laws again here, and this one, practice a couple more. No, Codex is already being done, and we have 10 strategy codexes already, so that's fine. And we're tied in production and use almost. We'll just go feasts, I guess. Get me like 5 more feasts. We'll stockpile at least several of these such that we can use them into the next era once we actually make that change over. There's the apothecary, and I think we'll just keep on the herbal medicine. Eventually, I think we're gonna use this herbal medicine. I hope. We're not gonna put the tea leaves in. We're not even getting to boost this very much is the thing, right? So we're not really getting these herbal medicines very fast. Arguably, we should just be crafting our candles out of this so that our workshops don't have to be doing the candles. That would probably be possibly a smarter play. Just something to think about in your games if you're playing them. All right. I think we're just going to get cut off over here. So I think I might stop and get this scout going back up in this direction. I don't think we're going to see anything else down here. And I want to stay within touching distance of Belgium so that we can be there should we need to be. The snow is prevalent up here, and we have somebody is up here, which may be where we need to send our other scout, because if they were bordering Germany, Germany's been doing pretty well. And so let's paste this guy up here. We'll see if we meet those people up there. All right. Telangana has expanded again. Are we building? Yeah, we're building that farm. We have another expansion though, a very quick expansion here. And I think I just want to grow these cities as fast as possible. Like I'm debating going grain store right away. Normally I would go into Code of Laws. No, that's not true. I always go grain store second. Code of Laws is usually third. I might even go beyond that with these cities. Just get them growing faster, like into like festivals or something. Although I have none of those crafted, so we need to get on that though, right? Okay. Telangana is up and running, and where's the claim gonna be? We could claim the iron, which is probably what we should do. Even though it would be arguably better to have Messina take that iron because they're the ones producing it all. That's a stretch claim for them, and Telangana would probably want to save claims on Messina to like grab stuff down here. So I guess we just claim the iron. We actually need it sooner rather than later, so let's go ahead and grab it. It's a really nice 5 territory claim as well, so we'll go ahead and grab that. We'll get a mine on it. We'll get the natural dyes taken care of first because we actually need those more than we need the iron. We have another verse, so that's perfect. That's we only have 1 left after this. Let's see what the RNG gives us. +5, build production towards improvements in all cities. +5, established relationship with other nations. That's actually not the worst, although I feel like the non-permanence of that kind of is a bummer. And a simple investment, +5 wealth per turn. The wealth per turn is, that's actually minimal, so I don't really care. I like the 5% build production towards improvements in all cities. It's pretty dang nice. That's every city that's building any improvement is getting 5%. We'll take that. Efficient mind. We have 1 more verse to pick yet, and our religion will be maximized. All right, Neza is idle, and that is because what they put in. We rushed a farm or dwelling or something like that. Now I can't remember. Okay, so we go to with several improvements that we could put in. We have at least 1 or 2 territories that will be valuable for potential triumphs. We are, what, 3 turns away? 2 or 3 turns away, depending on how the maths work out, from our golden. So we could start building triumphs. It's Neza that was the one that needed a project, and Neza would be a decent spot for it. Let's see. What can we build right now? Neza actually needs some more city health, so maybe Neza should build Hanging Gardens. 6-turn build, or at least says 6-turn build. We're still 2 or 3 away. If it built it too fast, we might actually end up building it too fast. Library of Celsus would be fine in any city, although we have, what, 89 in this city, so it's actually better. 35 city knowledge would be better in a city that doesn't have the city knowledge. So let's take a quick peek at some of our different cities and their city knowledge. Okay, so that makes our decision pretty easy. So our capital can build the Library of Celsus if we get the books done, which is going to be a big question mark. And then Neza, we'll let Neza build the Hanging Gardens because these guys have pretty good city health already, and Neza does not. And these guys have not great education, but Neza already has great knowledge. Sorry. And so I think that will be the play. So the question is to build 1 more thing before we get that done. We were kind of stacking apothecaries here is what we were doing. We could get another apothecary in, or no, you know what we need? They don't have a library yet, right? We could put a library in Monterey. Throw a library in Monterey. I think that's a really slick idea. Monterey is this one, right? Let's put the library right here. And I think I'm going to rush it for 300. So we need those we have no books, so we need the libraries to try to grab books. We don't have a library here either, but now we can, right? We've got the housing, we've got the food, and now we can put our library in, and we can put it in next to the inn because the library is for whatever reason, it's a culture building and not a science building. I don't know why. But the expert in the inn is good with both commerce and culture improvements. So I think we'll put the library in right here. And again, we'll go ahead and rush that. And that way we've got, I think we have 3 library builds out right now. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. We rushed this one as well. Sure. Done. 3 libraries that are rushed so we can get paper online. It's still gonna take us a while. I don't know if we'll get the books out in time to be able to build that wonder. So we need to start thinking from a tech standpoint. Can we tech to another wonder? Let's just look at it right now. If any other wonders, and there's not a lot, we'd either be going to the Cologne Cathedral, which we can get in 4 turns, that'd be 6 turns from now. So that could be fine, especially if we build it in our capital. We have all the materials for this one already, so that's easy. And the monastery, we don't have the candles currently. because we're putting all the candles into our dwellings and things like that, right? We're crafting candles at a decent pace. Do we want to take a shot at all three? Would we even be able to from a tech standpoint? Probably not. So I think the monastery is going to have to be a nope. But we can go for illuminated manuscripts after this and then try to get that one built as well. So it might only really get like 3 in, but gosh, that's a fantastic golden age. So I'm not going to complain about it. And we roll. Roll yet another turn. Agreement expiring, sir. Our research agreement is expiring. That's not a surprise. And look at this. No more bread. What? Hold on. I got no more bread. No more bread and no more what? Spices. Perfect. Okay, but we can get some food oil. We can always make use of some cured meats. Sure. Not enjoying my trade. I'm not enjoying anything about my relationship with Italy, for that matter. All right, library, irrigated farm, library, and library. So let's jump up here. We'll swing over to our libraries. They have some policies we can put in. Want to get some books in, although we need those books, so scratch that. I'm going to leave the book empty. Encyclopedia computer. We're not gonna put the books in yet because we want all the books we craft to go towards our wonder, right? So we don't want to pre-slot books right now. We'll have to remember to go back and do that, which is gonna be a pain, but that's fine. All right, paper. We're producing paper at a plenty of rate. 15. Well, okay. So here's the thing: we need to boost these, and the leather. We're going to run ourselves out of leather if we do this, but we might do it for a little while. We don't have the dyes. Still don't have the dyes to be able to do it. I'm going to throw 15 wealth at this. We have to burn our bank a little bit to get these books out. Here's the deal. Let's set each of these to 5, because that gets us the books we need for the wonder. But I want to reset the right. We want to reset the crafting on these. I want to use the paper. But I definitely won't want to be using the leather and the other things, right? Right now, I want to get them out as quickly as possible. Oops, 5. Because we're gonna burn through leather. We're gonna burn through money. Look at our bank. We just affected our bank in like a real serious way. But we want to try to get the books right for the wonder. We'll take a shot at it. Belgium would like to offer me a diplomatic alliance. I don't know who you're at war with. I'm gonna decline. I have no idea what his relationships are with other people. All right, idle city. Messina is idle. Let's see, 6 of 11 for housing, so that's fine. Food is great, and this is where we're going to be putting down. We need mines, actually. Like, we need straight mines in this city because we're running out of mined stuff. We can put mines here. We can put mines here. Some options. More mines. We actually have what, a blacksmith here. I think that's probably a good idea. Just because we could do other things in this city. Obviously, they need other things, but I feel like our production of materials is pretty low. So get a couple mines in. That will help that quite a bit. Callion is now idle as well. There again, dwelling is coming up. Food is fine, and we're gonna prep for a triumph build here as well. Yeah, we're getting 11. We are 2 turns away from our golden age. Let's get Hanging Gardens. Let's place it in this 3, right? That's the one we wanted in. 4 turns is perfect. We'll Hanging Gardens in Callion. Oh, wait! We're gonna do that in Neza. I thought Neza was gonna do that. They were, but it makes sense over there too. Well, I guess Neza is gonna put down the Hanging Gardens. Sorry, I guess Callion's gonna put it down. Neza, you lost out. Sorry. Callion is suffering more from a health standpoint, so I guess that's what we're doing now. Neza will have to wait and try to put down. Actually, that works. That works well because that puts Neza as our potential builder for either the Library of Celsus when the books come in, or the other triumph that we're going to tech for. Both of those are going to require a lot more production, and Neza is a higher production city for sure. So that actually is going to work out quite nicely for us. That I made that convenient mistake. Okay. Which does mean that we can kind of just go back to business as usual here. They actually need farms, right? Let's just put a farm in. Just put an irrigated farm down. Because we're running out of food. Next time we grow, we'll need it anyway, so we'll just stay on top of our food. And our capital, we can now, they still can't build any of our triumphs yet. So our capital can kind of just continue getting stuff good for it. We're sitting pretty in the capital, so the capital can kind of do whatever it wants. 78 lumber is pretty decent. But we can start stacking our lumber mills here. City, we don't need any more altars probably, although the bonuses are not bad. +1 research per turn, you get religious spread, you get city knowledge. Eventually you can't build altars anymore. I think once we move up, I think altars get cut off, so altars might be a possibility. Oh, we don't have a water well here yet. That would help our city health a little bit. And we could put it in a spot where we're going to put a bunch of farms. Academy next to library. That feels pretty decent. Let's throw an academy in. Why not? And then we'll put lumber mills in until it's ready to do its triumph, right? I think that's the play. All right, one more turn in this episode. There is feudalism, and so that will leave us with a choice, and I'll leave that choice to the next episode. We will be able to tech, but I won't choose what government we're going to until then. I'll spend some time thinking about it. We're going to go to this only because we're going to go to Illuminated Manuscripts, but only because we want access to the Triumph, right? We want access to the Clone Cathedral so we can build it during this Golden Age. That's going to take 4 turns to research, but that should be fine. We are entering our Golden Age on the next turn. We're 4 points away. We're getting 11 per, so next turn our Golden Age starts. We're immediately basically going to have Hanging Gardens built 3 turns or 2 turns after that, so that's going to be nice. All right, we're no longer receiving cured beats from Italy. I can't... You just can't win with these guys. Give me some ropes, I guess. They're just constantly burning through their stuff. I'll say it again. The trade mechanic, I feel like, still needs to change. It's just so frustrating. It's like that's like constant. Like you're losing trade routes because, yeah, they like get an extra one, then they use it. They get an extra one, then they use it, and it's like constant bouncing of like trade routes. Like I feel like that could be, just feel like it could be improved to some degree. Let's get these guys fortified again. Our boat has done its boating things. Oh, and we can cross here. We now know that there is a cross point. Let's hit this one. All right, other idle units. We'll have this guy just heal in our territory, which is nice. We've unlocked feudalism. We're going to save that for the next episode. Maharashtra has a growth, and that means that New Delhi didn't grow before us. We're growing faster. We insta-claim here. We're just gonna claim right up into his border immediately, right? I mean, that is the play. If we could get to this and cut this whole section off here, that would be lovely. Then we'll have to claim this, I guess, like actually finish the cut. If we can get that done, you know what's gonna happen? Italy's gonna settle a city right in here. You know what? That's fine. Let them, because we're gonna burn it all down eventually anyway. Agreement proposed. Ah, of course. Of course. Italy would like to be allies. Why not, sir? Let's be allies for at least one more cycle. I'm not prepared to declare war on you yet anyway. Am I? Did I just make an error? Military strength. Us. Caesar. Oh, wow. Never mind, I can declare war on anyone I want. Except for maybe Itzicatl, who's... there's why we're going to be allied with Italy for one more cycle. Itzicatl is sitting at my border with the second highest military strength on the board. And Itzicatl scares me because he likes to... In fact, I never saw his army cross back. He may have armies just kind of sitting in this area. Not that we were paying attention to that, so we don't know. Okay, in the next episode, we'll be choosing whether we're going to go with feudalism or we are going to go with empire. Do we want the city cap? Do we want the money? Oh, man, it is going to be very interesting. If you enjoyed the content, please hit that thumbs up button. And make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you know when we release these videos. More Ara to come. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.